Well, you're doing the start.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sebring. Ralph Shaheen alongside of Tom Pank with you as we get set for our first race of the weekend that we're going to be broadcasting to you. We're all thrilled to have you tuned in on the live stream, watching everything. And, Tom, this one should be a lot of fun.
Yes, it should. We had a great race yesterday afternoon to kick off the season. And we have 25 cars out here to start this race.
This is our IGT category. For those that are watching for the first time, Tom, give them a quick understanding of what IGT category cars look like.
IGT is a multi-class racing at its finest. We have classes from the fast full GT3 spec cars that you will see out here in the 12 hours of Sebring in a couple weeks, down to the entry-level cars as the Cayman GT3 cars. Most of the cars are Porsche Cup cars in one form or another. And a wide variety of drivers. We have some drivers who are elder pros who have been in Le Mans, and then we have people where this is their first year with us,
and we
even
have
maybe first or second year racing.
And we have a Lamborghini Huracan as well.
We have a Lamborghini Huracan Evo that is going to be running here in a couple weeks in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo.
And I have a note for that. Ben Sissel here. Happy to be with my friend Tom Pank and my new friend Ralph. And Wyatt Foster is behind the wheel of that. Wyatt Foster is a honorary Zapata Racing from Franklin, Tennessee, one of my racing groups and the guys that I grew up in racing with. And he's out there in that Lamborghini Super Trofeo running the exhibition class. He's the chief instructor at VIR, but a really great friend. But unbelievable cars in here. I just wanted to interrupt with that real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, they're sharing that car. The guy that Wyatt actually teaches, Seth is spending some time in there as well. Okay, let's run through the starting grid just so you can give you an idea of who's into today's race. Starting in position 1, number 40, Lucas Pank. Alongside in the 68 is David Twatty. Back to row number 2 is Russell Farhang in the 412. Then Mark Sandridge on the outside in the 58. Row 3 is George Michael Merritt in the 898 and John DeAngelis in the 32. Next row is Chris Lee in the 99 on the inside, Nicholas Groombridge on the outside. Another row back, we get the 44, that's Wyatt Foster in the Lamborghini, and alongside of him will be Luca Mars in car number 28. Then it's Mark Calzaretta in the 17 and Juan Gonzalez scheduled to run the 81, but Juan was going to go to a wedding today.
Mexico
City.
So
not sure if that car is going to be on the grid. I don't think it will be. The 992 is William Oliver. The 76 will be Nicholas Carangellin. Carangellin, all right. New name for me. The 277 and 15th is William Schmidt. We got Mark Julian, Cliff Kayer, Robert Wisen, Peter Crage, Stephen Thomas, Richard Walker, Spencer Proper, Mark Cook, Thomas Kirk, and Ari Strauss as we are ready to kick the 2025 season off live with our live stream. Glad to have you with us around the world. We are green and racing at Sebring.
And here starts that treacherous turn 1.
Huracan coming up the inside. Wyatt making some moves, trying to get from deeper in the field up into about the top 5. As we see the 49 right in the middle of that. Peter Crage right there.
But I have to say, we just saw David Tuati overtake Lucas Pank. I'm sitting next to Lucas Pank's dad, and Lucas Pank's mom is right behind us, and she cringed going into Cube 3 Architecture Turn 1.
Onboard action here with the 87. This is Mark Julian.
Now the cars are just getting settled down, getting their rhythm going. And set in for
Wyatt on the outsides. We got a Mission Turn 7. Oh, trouble here. Yep. Mission Turn 7, 2 cars off, including John DeAngelis right there in the black, yellow, and red 32.
That's likely going to bring out a yellow.
Yeah, and that is a big braking zone going into Mission Foods Turn 7 there. As we ride on board now, it looks like David Tuati was passed by Wyatt Foster.
Yeah, on that turn, just before the wreck.
The reason Wyatt is exhibition is there aren't enough Lamborghinis to make a class yet, and he's also on hand-cooked tires. There's Bob Wyson, your friend Bob Wyson,
yep.
number 27. And then we've got the first of our Stuttgart Cups.
Full
One
course
thing
yellow.
for you to know that we've got Stuttgart Cup cars have the yellow banner over the top of them.
Oh, there's more damage from that incident over there in turn 7.
We do have full course yellow.
Looks like it's primarily body work, so hopefully he'll have the parts to get that ready for the next race.
412 around as well. Russell Farhang over here on the far right side.
Uh-oh.
Looks like he doesn't have any body damage, though. Looks like he'll just get rolling again. Wyatt's got the Lambo looking pretty good. What do you guys think of that paint scheme?
Love it, love it. Yeah. I was looking at it at the grid, unbelievable. And Wyatt, always a very good driver. The thing I love about him is he kind of approaches his driving. He is a professional driver, but with International GT, he kind of has that vintage mindset of, it's the job of the overtaker to make a good pass, and it looks like he made a good, clean pass there. Not sure what happened to Russell Farhang, our professional violinist there at the Bennett Bridge Hall section of the track. And Thomas, looked like you looked like you had some things to say. You had some knowledge.
Yeah, this will happen on occasion. This is obviously very unfortunate, but Russell and Mark got tangled up. It was in 17 with a lot of activity at that moment. We'll see what happens.
Well, you got the first race of the season jitters too, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody's adrenaline's pumping a little bit harder than it will when we get a little deeper into the year.
And hopefully they can get this cleaned up and get our race rolling again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is International GT, and if you are joining us, anywhere that you're joining us here on SpeedTour TV on YouTube, tell us where you're watching from and who you are rooting for in this International GT race.
You mentioned Juan Gonzalez. Juan is the CEO of Mission Foods, who has been a great supporter of this series, and unfortunately he had to go to Mexico City because his wife would have been extremely angry if he didn't attend this cousin's wedding, he told me.
Well,
he flew out last night.
Spending some time talking with Juan, I've known him for a while with all the different forms of motorsports that Mission Foods is a part of. With him, family is always first, racing, and everything else comes after that. So no surprise that he would make sure that he's present when he's supposed to be at the wedding. But he did squeeze in some laps beforehand. Well, that's going to be some time at the body shop, huh?
Yep. 32. That would be...
That's John DeAngelis.
John DeAngelis.
Yeah.
So maybe John was involved in that as well.
Yeah, he was the first car. The 58 also involved Mark Sandridge. He's got problems on the rear end of his car. So I'm guessing, based on that, the front end of DeAngelis' car got into the rear end of Sandridge's car,
Yep.
and that's how he ended up with the...
But you said Russell Farhang was off there as well, right?
Well, Farhang, I think, was off somewhere else.
He was at the Bennett Bridge Hall 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
And he was all by himself over there, it looked like.
Okay.
That is really unfortunate there for the Sandridge Foods car of Mark Sandridge. His son, who usually races with us, is back home running Sandridge Foods and Grandma's Salads. Hopefully Joe Party-Vardy can get that thing back together and be back on the track later on today.
Yeah, I raced with Mark Sandridge in the 2005-06 IMSA Cup Series. So Mark Sandridge has won the Daytona 24, I think with Joe Vardy, and has raced like 35 years. So we got some senior guys who have some good experience.
And an OG in International GT. Back when Ken and Bill Riddell first started this, he was kind of one of the original 8 that was with us. So just love having him here. Big supporter of motorsports and just one of the friendliest people in the paddock. So that is really unfortunate.
Good look at the 30. Spencer Proper going by in that white and black machine there. Porsche Cayman.
Lights are still on in the safety car, so it looks like we're going to do another lap.
Here's the 28 sitting on pit road.
That is a young, upcoming 18-year-old out of the University of Kentucky, Luca Mars, who is here learning the track and shaking it out his new car for, I believe it's the Pilot Series.
Speaking of Luca Mars, S Golf is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, rooting for Luca. We've got Syracuse, New York, Oswego, New York. We've got...
famous racetrack up there in Oswego, that's for sure.
Yeah, West Palm Beach. Buenos Aires. So welcome. Milwaukee. We've got people from all over. It truly is International GT.
Pretty legendary racetrack in Milwaukee, too.
Yeah.
First one.
Cincinnati, the Rio Grande. I love it. McAllen, Texas.
Well, we see the lift truck leaving, heading out to go clean up those cars. Mark Sanders is being pulled back, so it doesn't look like he can go again. DeAngelis' car is pretty severely banged up.
Yeah.
Peter Crage's daughter.
He's not going back
watching.
out.
Elizabeth says, "Go, Dad," number 49.
Ben, if you need some Porsche body work for your man cave, I think we can help you out this weekend.
Be a depressing man cave.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so unfortunate. And you can see them pulling that off. We hate to see that, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is really frustrating for the drivers. They were just getting into their rhythm, and then bang. So we'll get this thing going in here shortly. Hopefully, this round will be the last round. And the safety team here at Sebring is very good on cleaning it up quickly.
Yeah, it can work either way, right, Tom? You could either be frustrated that just when you're finding your rhythm, it's over, and there's the other guy somewhere in the field his adrenaline was pumping so hard to take that break and kind of calm himself down now, catch his breath is probably cool too.
Oh yeah, yep. And again, it's the first weekend of the season, so it's there's some new guys and new experiences. And the other thing is, there's new people that everyone who's been here before is racing with, and we got to learn. They got to learn us. We have to learn them.
Right.
So we have in first place in Mission Foods is David Twatty, and he's the co-owner of TLM Motorsports, along him and David Lader. And the young lady who really runs the operation, Trish Shields, is now a partner. I think she should be more than half, but we'll work on Twatty on that.
She's one of those people that's just the camp counselor of the paddock. Great, and you'll know her because her shoes always match Dave Twatty's car. And also we have to mention FARA, another great racing organization out of South Florida that David Twatty, I think, became the owner of.
I think
recently.
TLM is a group, yes. And they run a lot of races around here. They have events here at Sebring. Multi-class, all kinds of cars, similar to SCCA and that. And a lot of Miatas.
We were speaking earlier of Nicholas Carangelin. He graduated from the Naval Academy in '76 and became a submariner. And I asked him at the grid how long he was underwater in 61 days at a time. And that
could not do that.
No.
Couldn't do it.
Nope.
Couldn't do it. Not just being cooped up for 61 days, but knowing how far under you are, right?
Yeah, I think that just takes a special personality. But you can tell just talking to him. He definitely has that kind of mindset, and then became an entrepreneur and started Trident Systems, and now he's out here racing a beautiful Porsche. So thanks for coming out.
I'm guessing he was on a Trident submarine then, if that's his company,
yeah,
probably
so.
Where the company name came from.
And we have Stephen Thomas here in a Cayman, the 710 Cayman, who was the class winner in Le Mans in 22.
Nice.
No, this is Tom Pank, if you're asking.
That's awesome.
He came onto my radio, Ben. Is this? Yeah, that's me. Okay, lights are out in the safety car, and we're going.
Yeah, it's about 4 minutes a lap around here behind the safety car. That tends to be the pace that they try to get the pace car at. Somebody with their hazards on back here. It's all a hazard when you're racing.
Okay, they're coming back through.
Getting ready as we come down into sunset.
Off the start.
Final corner, leading up onto the main straightaway here. And here we go. We're green, racing again at Sebring. Wyatt Foster leading him down the long front straightaway. He'll be the first one to crank it to the left and dive down into turn number 1. That battle deep at the back end of the field. Thomas Kirk and that red-orange looking number 22. And he's got Spencer Proper back there with him in the 30 in that white and black car.
have Wyatt, followed by Twatty, followed by Lucas, followed by George Michael Merritt. And
look at the gap, Tom, already that the Lambo has opened up on the horde of Porsches trying to chase them down as they go into Mission Foods turn number 7.
Now their tires have cooled down a little bit. They're trying to get the heat back in them and get back into the rhythm and the groove of this track. Sebring's an awesome track. It's bumpy, it's got character, it's got high speed, it's got just unforgiving spots, and everybody loves it.
What's the biggest challenge when it comes to trying to find your rhythm here?
It's getting back into the groove. If you're not, we're here once a year, so there's the getting back in the groove and getting used to the bumps again. And then when you're coming through 17 and you have the line right and you're bouncing through there and you know you're fast, then you feel good. Because 17 is the key corner to this track, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's Sunset, the last one. And look at Foster. Just gapping Twatty. And
Lucas is probing
and Lucas,
Twatty right
he's starting
now.
to look around, isn't he?
Let's see what happens. Lucas is going to be patient again. He's a student of the racing and spends a lot of time studying setup and studying race lines and corners. And
boy, look at that
somewhat of a
Lambo
chess
bouncing
match.
through Sunset.
Let's see how Lucas comes through 17 now with Twatty next to him.
Lucas looking on the outside, going through the corner.
Twatty pinched him off a little bit, it looks like, but we'll see where it comes out.
Lucas might lose the spot here as he's got one coming up the inside, going into 1. And the battle for third, he's going to take 2 spots as he gets around Twatty as well. Some very aggressive racing back here for second place.
Yes. All right, so they're going to work it out. They're going to settle down. George Michael Merritt is now in front of Twatty and Lucas. And the Lambo is out of
Merritt
sight.
gets off into the dirt there, Tom, and almost stuffs him
Twatty
into the
got
Mission
Merritt
Bridge.
back, and Lucas is right behind him.
So Twatty gets back around. He's now up to second in the 68. Here comes Lucas looking on the outside in the 40. That's the green and blue car. And then Merritt trying to stick his nose back up the inside of Lucas, and it looks like it's going to work.
We'll see. So they're going to fight this out for a while, and hopefully they'll fight out safely, and we'll have a heck of a race going on here.
Well, we got a thriller right now, I can tell you that. That battle for second is 5 cars strong.
So now we're into this race. Now they're settling in, and we'll see how this plays out. Let's look at the Caymans now, how they coming through.
The 124, the tail of this group, that's Groombridge.
Nick Groombridge is a patent attorney out of New York, and he's been racing with IGT for 5 or 6 years now. He's a very good competitor. He also has done the West Coast races with us, and quite talented. It looks like Wyatt is pulling the Lambo further ahead of everyone.
Yeah, he's got a commanding lead in the Huracan right now. And here comes that battle for second up onto the main straightaway. Thundering down towards turn number 1. A little bit of gap amongst a couple of the cars in this group now, but Merritt sitting there in third right behind Twatty right here. And here's Lucas looking on the outside, coming through 1, dips a wheel, and retakes second place. A bold move, Tom, but a great one. Now he's going for second.
Dicing with
he's
Twatty
right
now.
to the inside, and he'll take that as well.
So if Lucas can get ahead, then he won't have the traffic, and he can get some clean air and go. We'll see
he's
how
got
this
it
comes
now.
out of the turn. And Lucas has it. Good job. Sorry about the bias, guys.
That's all right.
Now this field is hopefully going to settle in, and the track stays clean. We'll have a great race to end.
Pretty even gaps right through there now between
Look at
second,
that.
third,
5
fourth,
cars
fifth, and
fighting
sixth.
for the lead right now.
So we're watching the fight. Second overall, first in class. And Lucas now starting to try to stretch it out a little bit. So going on board with Twatty here.
Everyone's here on Pirelli tires and Speedcom radios. And it's also sponsored by the Detroit Watch Company.
Here's Wyatt Foster coming at you.
All right, looks like Lucas is hunting down Wyatt at this point in time.
Here's Lucas coming through Sunset, that Bay Saber 40. And the rest of them chasing after him. He's definitely opened up a gap in that last lap. Twatty here in the 68, then Merritt right there in the 808, or 898, I should say. That's probably the best battle there, that one for third in class.
Right now we have Wyatt with the fastest lap of a 2:02. We have Lucas at a 2:07, and then we have Twatty at a 2:09, George Michael Merritt at 2:10. So they're going at it now, and looks like second or third and fourth are the next battle to be observed.
Taking a look from our drone deeper back into the field as we go back on board with Twatty again. Good look at how he's working the gas and the brake. Just tapping that brake a little bit here and there to settle the car down. Shift that weight around.
Just keep it to the floor through here, Twatty.
Yeah, he's
lifting.
heavier on the brake here. It's coming out.
I will say Twatty has probably more laps than anyone on this track that's racing today.
Yeah, that was coming out onto the Ullman Straight. On this long run to the final corner here.
Wyatt
17.
Foster just turned a 202 flat.
Well, Lucas's car looks nice and planted through there. So many bumps through there, can really rattle that suspension.
Yeah. There's different setups, and setups are very key here at Sebring. And Kurt Keitel from Ultra Performance really knows this track and these cars, so that makes it easier on Lucas, who just turned a 206.9. Second faster than Twatty, and George Michael Merritt's a second behind that.
You can see Foster's Lambo porpoising
But right now,
through there a
everyone,
little bit as it
the
bounces
top
over
three
the
drivers have just turned their fastest laps of the race.
as it bounces over the different bumps. You can see the gap back here to second overall and first in class.
Last lap coming up, guys.
Foster already starting to lap through the field a little bit here at the end.
That is Ari Strauss, who is P1 Motorsports. He's developing a race park outside of Palm Beach. 600 acres, a whole new track, quite the operation. A private race country club.
Those are popping up everywhere, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, the white flag is out for this great battle.
Here comes Lucas, 207.4 that lap. Twyett, 207.5.
All these GT3 Cup cars.
Lucas will be starting on pole again.
Here's Merritt, the 898.
So now that we're on the last lap, we'll see how it goes.
There's the rest of the field through the final corner. They'll have one more lap to go. Here's Foster, who's put together a great day. That white flag about to be switching over to the checkers as we get ready to close this one out. Our first race of our broadcast window for the weekend with IGT. International GT category. Categories, I guess we should say.
Yeah, we have, I guess there's about 6 classes running, because you'll have the GT4R in the Porsche Cup cars, and then the 4-liter, and then the 3.8s.
And
we have
this guy here.
Here comes Lambo through turn 17.
Wyatt Foster put together a strong race from the drop of the green. And the Lambo is going to take the win here in race number 2 for IGT. Flashing the lights as he comes across to take the checkers here at Sebring. Congratulations, Wyatt Foster. Outstanding run. Now let's see if Lucas can hang on to get to the finish here. Working that final lap. Should be coming around shortly. Here he comes.
Here comes Lucas.
Lucas Pank comes off the final corner under the WeatherTech bridge to take the checkers at Sebring. There he is back there in the green and blue Porsche. Taking the win over David Twatty here in the 68.
Twatty got fastest lap. Twatty had a faster lap that time, so Twatty will start on pole next race.
Merritt across the line behind them in third. 4th overall.
William Oliver had a faster lap. Correction. Michael Merritt had a faster lap. William Oliver had his fastest lap of the race that last lap.
Rest of the field crossing the line. You got the race monitor over there if you want to.
Yeah. So
catch the
what
rest
we
of our
have
class
is
winners.
Wyatt Foster, Lucas Pank, David Twatty, Michael Merritt, Nick Groombridge, William Oliver, Chris Lee, Russell Farhang, Mark Julian, Mark Calzaretta, Nick Carangelin, Robert Wisen, number 12. 13 is Stephen Thomas. 14 is Thomas Kirk, Tillman Schmid, Richard Walker, Mark Cook, Spencer Proper, Ari Strauss, and Luca Mars and Peter Cage, Mark Sandrich, and John DeAngelis are still, did not finish. I'm going to...
you're going to head to victory lane.
We're going to talk to Lucas on the radio here. Lucas, good job. We got you live on the radio.
Hey, that was a good win. They really made me fight for it, I tell you what.
Yes, they did. And hate to break it to you, but your buddy Twatty did have a faster lap there on his last lap. He poked 6.5.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I got my work cut out for me next race, then, that's for sure.
Good job. 2 in the books.
Thank you.
Yeah, that next race coming up at just about 5 o'clock this afternoon. We'll have sprint race number 3 and their endurance race tomorrow. We're going to step away and take a quick break here with our live race media coverage. We'll be right back to Sebring.
Yes. Fine. The WeatherTech's here. WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street-legal. Find the Hawk Performance brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
Okay, and that'll be the first one up on Speed Sport 2, right? Yeah. All right. Okay, back here at Sebring, getting ready. Up next will be the TransAm presented by Pirelli Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. Right now, the Sebring International Raceway is at a lunch break. We're going to do some parade laps from the Optima Batteries Challenge machines and some basic festivities in and around the event here this weekend as Speed Tour has made its way to Sebring to kick off the 2025 season. We will be back next with that TransAm presented by Pirelli Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, 11:30 right here on the stream, and then the race goes green. You can either watch it on the stream or you can switch over to Speed Sport 1 at noon if you'd like to see it there. Okay, we'll be right back in about an hour.